In a nation where economic stability is paramount, the Ghanaian government has embarked on an innovative policy aiming to alleviate pressures on the local currency and reduce fuel prices. Gold for oil, fueling Ghana's economic stability.
Gold is as good as foreign exchange. It's as good as the US dollar in international payments transactions.
Ghana, known for its rich resources, diverse culture, and growing economy, has faced challenges in maintaining a stable exchange rate for the Ghana cedi. Fluctuating global oil prices and the currency exchange rates have often burdened the nation and its citizens. All of these were exacerbated by two major global events.
Before COVID, the economy was growing. At 8%, and we had hopes, high hopes. And then COVID struck. When COVID struck, what happened to the global economy? Global output shut down. Borders were closed. Businesses shut down. Employees were asked to stay at home. When you stay at home, you are not productive. When you stay at home and companies are shut down, and Ghana's economy, which these days is driven more by services, meant that all the service industry was shut down, closed. And if the industry is closed, will they be paying taxes? Answer is no, there will be no taxes. Government will not be making any money. And the only money government can spend will be grants, which we got some, and also the reserves we had.
The situation led to a rapid skyrocketing of the price of fuel and a threat of shortage.
Global crisis and everything, you started seeing major increases in price of fuel, in price of oil, in inflation, and it was essentially an impact of depreciation of the currency because our reserves of foreign currency had fallen low, and because of that, the pricing of fuel as the exchange rate depreciated also increased significantly. Price of diesel went up to as much as 23 cedis per liter, and so you had an impact on that of inflation, and then it was very cyclical. The exchange rate will depreciate, the fuel price will increase, inflation will increase, and the exchange rate will depreciate some more, and so on. And as I saw it, and as our government saw it, we're moving towards a Sri Lanka situation, because once your foreign exchange reserves are depleted, you don't have money to buy fuel, oil, and therefore you enter into fuel shortages on the street, and you enter into doomsday because you cannot pay for oil to come. And that was, for me, a very scary proposition. And as I have said elsewhere before, I had many sleepless nights over this issue.
A gallon of fuel was about 106 cedis for only 1 gallon. It got there. That was when it got to 23.49. The calculation by 23.49 times 4.5 got to around 106 cedis. So it happened like something that we've not seen before. Fuel has not gotten to that point before.
But a promising solution has emerged. Recognizing the value and stability of gold, government has taken a bold step by utilizing this precious resource to secure oil imports.
But when he introduced the gold for oil, for me, it was like just an incremental innovation. Because for him to see that this commodity, when they buy, when government of Ghana buys with cedis, it becomes dollars. And it can use that to negotiate for fuel inflows into the country. Clearly, it shows that he's thinking outside the box.
The vice president, who is the chair of the economic management team, had a very good, clear sense of where he's taking this to, clarity of vision. Initially, there were a few of us, not particularly myself, but I say a few of us in a generic sense, who had our legitimate doubts as well as legitimate queries as to how this will all work out. But he was very firm in his conviction and his vision in terms of what he wanted to do with our mineral resources and how it was going to result, as I've sought to explain, in the reduction in cost of living and so on and so forth. And he stood his grounds on all fronts whilst taking in inputs and critique of the policy proposal.
By purchasing oil with gold, Ghana is strengthening its economic foundation.
As the minister responsible for lands and natural resources, more fundamentally is a paradigm shift in terms of how we leverage our mineral resources. The age-old problem of exporting raw materials, exporting our raw minerals, not leveraging them for the good of the state and the country, is one that I believe this program is jettisoned and is actually dealt with. And in some cases, the Bank of Ghana's domestic gold purchase program is resulted in the refining of gold here in Ghana and outside the shores of our country. But more importantly is the fact that we are leveraging these minerals, these resources.
This strategic approach brings several benefits. First, reduce fuel prices. By bypassing the traditional reliance on foreign currency, Ghana can negotiate better terms and secure more favorable prices for imported oil, leading to reduced fuel costs for consumers and businesses alike.
The yellow line is the world market price, the Platts price for diesel. The orange line is Goil's price, pump price. The blue line is for Star Oil. The green line is the Forex. We started the Gold for Oil program somewhere here. And we can see clearly the trend for pricing. We can see that the Forex is stabilizing and it's coming down, even though sometimes it goes up. We can see the world market price, yes, it's almost flat, but it's coming, goes up, comes down. But what is constant is the fact that our prices, local pump prices, are trending downwards. And this is what the Gold for Oil was supposed to achieve.
And of course, you also know the obvious impact that these prices have on everyday cost of living. And therefore, one will say that the program and its ramifications have had a very positive feeling for all of us, that we've been able to work out a mechanism which is helping us deal with the cost of living issues.
The Gold for Oil system, it has helped for some time now because it made the price to come down a bit, and it's helping the transportation system in general.
As at now, we have seen the impacts, because first where it was and now where it is, we have seen the impacts of Gold for Oil.
The Gold for Oil policy will also augment other measures by the central bank to mitigate the volatility of the Ghana cedi, ensuring a stable exchange rate, attracting foreign investment, and fostering economic growth.
That was just a simple idea, and I thought through it, looked at the analytical framework for that. Made very good sense to me, and I sort of informed government about how this thing would work, and we had a consensus on it, and I announced it in December, and I said we are coming in with a new policy, and this new policy will achieve an increase in our reserves. It will reduce the depreciation of the cedi. At the same time, it will reduce fuel prices, and it will reduce inflation.
When the Vice President convened this extraordinary maiden meeting of the economic management team, of which I was invited as the minister responsible for the regulation of the mining sector in our country. Very innovative, there's no two ways about that, thinking outside the box, and also quite ambitious. But I should add it also gave one a sense of relief, because the concept of commodity trading, commodity barter trade, historically and contemporary, has been a very important, useful tool to bring down pricing, for that matter, the cost of living.
The policy also enhances Ghana's self-reliance and reduces dependence on external forces, empowering the nation to control its economic destiny.
So I think one of the most powerful nation-changing policies that has happened to this country is the fact that even though it's late, we now know that our own gold is money, and our own gold can be used as a reserve currency to support our city and support this dear country of ours. Nobody, since independence, nobody has come to tell us, build your gold reserves. But I said it's better late than never. And I'm happy this vice president is the one who is telling us that let's build our gold reserves. It will help correct some of the fundamentals. We can use them as guarantees for certain loans we get. And when the demand for dollars goes up, at least we have some gold that will back our city. And the depreciation of the city, which happens almost every year, will be curtailed. So I think this is the best thing to happen to this country as at this time. And I thank the Vice President for ensuring that this happens.
You know, Western region, for instance, we produce about 60% of Ghana's gold. And for us to see that this gold we are producing, for the first time in so many years, is making a direct impact in this country, in the Western region, with all fuel prices now coming down. Clearly, people can see it.
In times of difficulties, in times of challenges, leaders are required to think outside the box. And when they lie in their bed, as they say, they don't just look into the ceiling for the sake of it, but they look into the ceiling and come up with ideas, and not just ideas, but ideas which are innovative and which are not the usual. And in many cases, they are contemporaries or people of their time struggle to understand what exactly they are seeking to do. And of course, the Vice President, working closely with the President on this particular matter, and in cabinet, within the government, his close collaboration and consultation with President Akufo-Addo meant that the two of them offered such extraordinary leadership for our country in some of the difficult times of this nation.
While the gold for oil policy offers significant advantages, it also comes with some challenges. Ensuring efficient coordination between the gold and oil sectors, managing potential risk, and maintaining transparency are crucial for its success. However, with careful implementation and continuous evaluation, the future prospects are promising.
Before this place, Boss was bringing in food. We're importing fuel products, were we not? We're doing our normal activity. It's just that we've been brought together to correct a market failure. So whatever we are doing is something we do normally. And Bank of Ghana, as the regulator, is ensuring that this will help stabilize prices. As to its sustainability, I told you there's a reason why this country is called Gold Coast. We have a lot of gold. The only challenge was the smuggling. Now most people are bringing their gold through the normal channel. And so that is what will deal with the sustainability.
Since January 15th of 2023, we've seen an appreciation, not a depreciation. So inflation is coming down, depreciation is coming down, or you're having appreciation, fuel prices are coming down, and our reserves, rather than declining as we would have expected them to have done, are being built up right now. So for me, I see this as one of the most, if not the most important macroeconomic policy that as a government we have implemented since independence. And I think that this is just the beginning of this. The impact of this is just being felt. I mean, it's been less than 6 months since we operationalized this policy. And I'm looking forward to a further deepening of this policy over time.
I think the vice president will commend him for, bringing this deal. Actually, we don't know. Me, I'm not an expert. All that I need is to see the fuel coming down, and that is what I'm seeing.
Ghana's gold for oil policy represents a visionary approach to ensuring economic stability, protecting the Ghana cedi, and reducing fuel prices for the benefit of all. By harnessing the nation's abundant resources and chartering an independent course, Ghana is paving the way for a brighter and more prosperous future.